Should you buy a new home or you should buy one that's already existing? That's a question I get all the time. So today in this video, I'm gonna tell you what can be a right fit for you and can save you lots of money. I feel like there's not a right answer to this. I feel it all depends on various different things, from price point to your timeline to what you're expecting, the location. It's just so many different variables that I go over my clients to see if you should buy a new build or resell. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind while I'm breaking this down, and let's get right into it. This is why buyers love new builds. They love new builds because it's quick and easy. They help you with your closing costs. Some of them even have lenders that help you with your money down. They have warranties that cover the house anywhere from up to 10 years. They also have energy efficient windows. They have open concepts. They have something ready, and most of them have timeline flexibility. Some of them are ready in 45 days. Some of them are in 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, 9 months. It's more flexible to a buyer, and people like getting into a new house and saying that you bought a new house and that you're the first owner. So those are the main pros when it comes down to buying a new house. A couple cons that people don't like new builds is that they can be a lot of delays. I work a lot with new build clients, and some of them they were expecting to close 2-3 months, and then it turns out they won't be able to close in 4 or 5 months because there's some delay in the workforce, or there's a delay in materials. It's just so many moving factors, and it can be a little bit frustrating, but that's part of the risk when signing a contract with a new build. They tell you that at the start. New construction homes are known to be tight with the other houses, and there's even a joke saying that you have to whisper so your neighbor don't hear you when you're in the backyard. They are, keep in mind, most of them are built to make money, especially if they're building 500, 1,000 houses in a certain area. So that's a big con that people turn away from new builds. Another big turn off is the upgrades, right? They tell you, hey, you can buy this house for 540, then it has nothing. It's the bare minimum. It feels really empty. Yeah, they have the concept, the layout, but if you want to add a certain fixture, $100 here, $1,000 for that, $7,000 for blinds. Oh wait, you want to upgrade the doors? All right, cool, we'll do it for another $2,000, $3,000, and it can just add up because sometimes they push this down your throat. You're like, you just don't want to buy it, and since it's included in the loan, they're like, all right, cool, well, we can do all these upgrades. You don't have to put $1 down. We'll add it to the loan, and now it's easy for you to pick up different upgrades, and you just added 50, 60, 70K of upgrades, and it adds up quick. I have seen it in person. Good realtor will tell you which ones are worth it and which ones are not, because most of these you can do it outside of the new buying process. Another thing that people dislike, these new builds do tend to be more pricier versus the resales, or they try to be more pricier because they're new versus these houses that already been established and they have their appreciation. Another thing is these new builds, it's a risk, right? Especially in new neighborhoods, because you don't know what's gonna happen in that area. Maybe they build a zoo right next to it, or maybe they build a big store, apartment complex. It's just so many different things that it can build unexpected, and now you're stuck with it. You're taking that risk. This is an established community where it has its resale houses. You kind of already know what to expect. It's already full of houses. That's another big turn off from new builds. Resales might be for you, and here's a couple reasons why people choose to buy a resale. They choose to buy a resale because they already have the established community. They like to walk in there being like, all right, I know what I'm getting. Come on, bring it on, give me my right. Also, they have trees that have been planted, landscaping that has been going on for years and years and years. They have gardens. They already have something there that's been growing for a long time, and they already know what traffic they're getting, because most of these new communities typically are outside of the cities, meaning they're pushing traffic that way. Versus an established neighborhood, you can kind of already drive around, you can see where you're getting, you can go during peak hours and see where the exits are. Versus new builds, they're creating exits left and right, and you don't even know that. So also with resale, there's more room to negotiate. Yeah, on new builds, you're getting the closing costs, you're getting all that. But whenever you go to resales and tell them, listen, I can buy this house, it gives me all closing costs and give me a better rate, hey, or I could buy yours, here's this offer. So there's a little bit more wiggle room to negotiate. Of course, some of those homeowners do like to be proud and say, hey, you know, my house is built with a little bit more quality, because let's be honest, most new homes, I would say, especially the BMOs, the Hortons, they're made with lower quality stuff versus the older houses back in the day. And that's just what it is, right? That's just what it is. I mean, the only power you have is choosing which one, either or. And both have problems. People say that, oh, older houses, they're built better, this and that. Yeah, but they have outdated lights. They have outdated electric boxes. That's a lot of the older houses, and they can catch on fire, right? And the new builds, now they have to have a certain code to it. They have to have up-to-date electric to it. Of course, some new builds kind of mess around and go through the loops, but of course, do your research and talk to a realtor. Talking about a realtor, guys, my name is Gus. I'm here, a realtor here in the Dallas area. So if you guys have any questions about buying resale or buying a new community, I am an expert at exploring and breaking down everything easy for you, so you don't have to do your homework. So if you guys have any questions, my info is in the description. I would love to represent you, help you buy, help you sell, and do everything above real estate. So I kind of mentioned that most of these older houses, they don't have up to code stuff, meaning that that roof might be 10 years old, the AC might be 10 years old, and as a homeowner, you do want to be replacing this, but not all homeowners do. So expect some of these to be outdated, expect to have more maintaining problems, because if a house been up for 30, 40, 50 years, you know, the foundation is not the same. The carpet might have a certain smell. Another con would be the layout. It might not be open. I've seen it where you walk in, there's a door, and then you walk to the left, there's the kitchen is blocked off, so you have to walk around to the kitchen, to the living room, and then the living room, there's like another they have these different layouts that we're not used to nowadays, right? Because everything has become open concept, so they have less modern designs. Some of them popcorn ceilings, new design. Those are the older designs back in the day. You might going to have to move into this house and do 20, 30, 40 care repairs, and which is okay. Maybe some people want to turn it into a project, put it up to date, but sometimes you have to put your own labor into it to change it up to date. So which one is smarter for you? I would say if you want something that's more easy, you could get into, you don't have to maintain it all the time, you should go with a new build. If you want something that has a better interest rate, go with a new build. If you plan to stay in it at least 5, 6, 7 years, go with a new build, because that's when stuff starts getting old and you have to replace. Now, if you don't want to take the risk of the value going up and down, maybe get yourself a resale, because you already know that area is going 3, 4, 5% a year up in appreciation. Also, resale homes, they're 30 to 40 days move-in date. So all you have to do is get it on a contract, get the loan out, boom, you can move in, versus a new build where you have to wait till they're done with the house and there can be delays. So if you want something quick, you might want to go with resale. Negotiating, you can use that against the resale people and tell them, hey, I can buy a new build or I can buy yours, but take this offer. So there's a little bit more negotiating leverage. Of course, it depends on your market. So I would say the smartest decision for you would not be online shopping and looking at what's pretty. It would be actually sitting down and asking questions and comparing pros and cons. Have a realtor sit down with you and break it. Should you do this? Should you do that? If you guys have any questions at all, want to break down certain communities, let me know. I'll be more than happy. Again, my name is Gus. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next one.